So today we're going to talk about active rest and why it's important and the impact it has on your Chihuahua's behavior and certainly their health. So active rest is sometimes known as decisionless sleep or forced rest, but what it basically is, it's an intentional rest. So what we're looking for is putting the dog away somewhere where they can have a good sound sleep without having to worry, without having to make any decisions. So if you take the decisions away from your dog about whether they need to get up and leap about and bark at the noise outside or the doorbell or whatever, then your Chihuahua can truly relax and have a really nice nap. So our intentional sleep is somewhere where we put the dog down for a nap, where they just do not have to worry about what's going on. They don't have to worry about noises outside, about people coming and going. All the decisions have been taken away from them so they can just truly relax. Now, this is very different for them having a snooze on the sofa, because if they're on the sofa or they're on a mat or whatever, and it's somewhere where they've just taken themselves to, we all know that the minute there's a noise, they're going to be up. They're going to be up and they're going to be barking and they're going to be running around. So they're not truly asleep. They're not truly having a lovely deep sleep that they need. Now, a puppy needs about 18 hours sleep a day, and adult dogs also need to sleep more during the day, especially a small, very excitable dog like a Chihuahua, and any toy breed really, because they are quite small, they've got little legs, and they're up and they're running around, charging around, sticking their little nose in, getting more and more excited as they go through the day. And as they get more excited, they become more overtired, and then this overtiredness starts to pay into their behavior in exactly the same way it does when you've got an tired child. So our active rest helps our Chihuahua calm down. When they're able to have a sleep, their parasympathetic nervous system will take over. And the parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for healing, it's responsible for digestion, and it's responsible for learning. So your Chihuahua has an opportunity to process what's been going on during the day, to digest their food, and to heal any kind of itches and scratches and maybe muscle pulls that you're not aware of. So again, the having an opportunity for a rest is so important. Now, another good reason for having active rest as part of your daily routine is it helps your Chihuahua empty their emotional bucket. If you look at one of our other videos on about what's in your Chihuahua's emotional bucket, it's basically everything that's kind of happened to them in the day that's either exciting or anxiety. It doesn't matter what it is, it all has the same effect. It fills up your Chihuahua's emotional bucket. And as the bucket gets full, you're going to get overspill behaviors. These often just look like crazy running around, not able to listen to you, barking at everything that moves. So again, putting them down for a nap will help them empty their bucket and help them when they kind of come out of their nice nap. They should be in a better mental state and able to make better decisions and process information better. So how do we get our Chihuahuas to have a rest? Now, it might be something that you need to grow with your dog, okay? Because not all dogs are very good at settling, especially if they spend a huge amount of time in high arousal and they're running around. So the best place for your Chihuahua to have a completely decisionless sleep, not easy when you have a speech impediment, is in their crate. So if your dog is crate trained, or if they're not, then that might be something to work towards. Putting them down for a nap in their crate, covered in a corner away from footfall, is a good place to start. So it's nice and cozy, it's dark, and they can just have a really lovely sleep. Now, if you can't crate train, or you don't have a crate, or for whatever reason, then another good option is maybe pen off a corner of the room and put them in there for a nap, or a nice small room with a cozy bed where it's nice and warm, where you can shut the door and people aren't going to interfere with them. Now, if your Chihuahua has had a really busy morning and they're really razzed up and they're not just going to calm down like that, there are a few things you can actually do to help them move into a calmer headspace where they're going to be more able to have a sleep. So there are some nice, easy games that you can play with them. One of them is a snuffle mat. We love our snuffle mat. It really works well. It brings their arousal level down. It kind of puts them into a seeking frame or a more positive frame of mind, and just basically helps them come from a high arousal state to a calmer, low arousal state. Another good one is chewing. So if your dog is really razzed up, then maybe just get them chewing something. It could be a nice, healthy bone. If it's a real bone, take the marrow out. Okay, you really don't want that going through your dog's system. It's fatty and it's rich, and you will pay for it at the other end. So give them a nice marrow, a nice bone to chew, but take the marrow out. It could be anything that your dog likes to just sit down and nag, because these are calming activities for your dog. Another good one, if you've got the space, is to have your dog in the garden and walk figure of eights with them. You probably see people do this with horses as well, where they're trying to calm them down. So it's a meditation. You're just going to walk your dog around in a nice, calm figure of eight. The dog's not going to be going crazy. You're not going to be talking to them. There's a good boy, there's a good boy, and putting their arousal level up, and we're not feeding. So we're just moving them around in a calm figure of eight. And eventually you will just see that their body language drops and they brings them into a calmer headspace. So how long should we put our dogs down for? That's kind of depends on the dog a little bit. Prince and Macy love their crate, and they go down for a nap generally in the afternoon for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. If they're really settled, I'm not going to go in there and disturb them. So I kind of go, they're getting a bit silly. They need a nap. Okay, so I just go, Prince, Macy, naps. And they get up and they just go and get in their crate and make a little nest in their blanket, shut the door, pull the blanket down so that they don't have to get involved. And generally, I don't hear a peep out of them. But it is important that you don't let your Chihuahua whine or cry in the crate, because you're just going to poison that as a calm space. So if your Chihuahua is struggling to stay in their crate, just give them a minute maybe to settle. If they don't settle, then take them out the crate, and then that is information that you might need to rebuild the crate in a more positive way for your Chihuahua, so it's got a more positive association. And then put the dog down for a nap somewhere else. Sometimes while you're growing this, you have to sit down with them, okay? And that's probably quite good for you as well. Another thing you can do is you can put their harness on them, and you can just sit down, and the dog has a harness and an indoor line on them, and if you've got them tethered, they generally go, can't run about anywhere, can't chase that, and they will start to relax. So while we want to move towards your dog going into a crate or a pen and having a really nice sleep for a couple of hours, you may have to grow that with your Chihuahua so they get used to it, because it's not something we want to force on them and then poison our crate or poison our pen. I hope you found that useful. Please subscribe to our channel for more behaviour and health tips for your Chihuahua. Bye bye for now. Chihuahua School is our online training program, which is just for Chihuahuas. It's 100% force-free and based in the science of dog training. So whatever your Chihuahua behavior struggle is, we can help you in Chihuahua School. Have a look at the information page. The link is in the show notes below. Or if you've got any questions, please just contact me, leave a comment or send me a message.